Ever walked out of a job interview, a date, or even just a conversation and thought, man, I completely blew that? You knew you had the skills, the personality, the stuff, but you just couldn't get it across. It feels like you're the world's best-kept secret, right? What if I told you that the problem isn't what you're selling, but how you're selling it? And by it, I mean you. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of selling yourself, not by being fake or arrogant, but by genuinely and effectively communicating your value. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have the keys to unlock any door you want to walk through. So what does selling yourself even mean? It sounds a bit slick, maybe even manipulative, but let's reframe it. It's not about tricking people. It's about translation. It's about translating your internal value, your skills, your passion, your experiences into an external message that people can understand, appreciate, and connect with. The first psychological principle we need to master is the halo effect. The halo effect is a cognitive bias where our impression of someone in one area influences our feelings about them in other areas. For example, if someone is well-dressed and speaks eloquently, we automatically assume they are also intelligent, competent, and trustworthy. We see one positive trait, and our brain creates a halo of positivity around them. Think about Steve Jobs. He famously wore the same black turtleneck, jeans, and sneakers. This wasn't just about saving time. It created a powerful, consistent, personal brand. His simple, iconic look projected an image of focus, minimalism, and genius. This visual signature became a halo. When he walked on stage, before he even said a word, that halo made you believe that whatever he was about to present was going to be brilliant, innovative, and game-changing. So how do you create your own halo? It starts with your first impression. Are you showing up to a virtual meeting from a cluttered, messy room? Or is your background clean and professional? When you meet someone, do you have a firm handshake and make eye contact? These small details create an initial positive spark that colors everything else you say and do. It's not about being someone you're not. It's about presenting the best version of yourself from the get-go. Clean up your LinkedIn profile. Have a professional headshot. These are the digital handshakes of today. They create a halo before you even enter the room. Next up, let's talk about the power of storytelling. This is psychological principle number 2. Our brains are not wired to remember lists of facts, figures, or bullet points on a resume. They are wired for narrative. Facts tell, but stories sell. A story creates an emotional connection. It makes you memorable. Let's say you're in a job interview for a project manager role. The interviewer asks, "Are you good at handling pressure?" You could say, "Yes, I thrive under pressure and have excellent problem-solving skills." Okay, that's a fine answer, but it's forgettable. Now, imagine you said this instead. "That's a great question. In my last role, we were a week away from a major product launch when our lead developer quit unexpectedly. Panic set in. Instead of pointing fingers, I immediately pulled the remaining team together. I didn't have all the answers, but I created a space for everyone to voice their concerns. We reprioritized tasks. I took on some of the coding myself by staying late, and we supported each other. We ended up launching on time, and the team was more united than ever. That experience taught me that pressure isn't something to fear. It is an opportunity to lead with empathy and find strength you didn't know you had. See the difference? The second answer doesn't just tell them you can handle pressure. It shows them. It paints a picture. It reveals your character, your leadership style, and your resilience. The interviewer is no longer just hearing facts. They are experiencing your competence through a compelling story. They can feel the tension and the triumph. That emotional journey makes you unforgettable. So, before your next interview or important meeting, don't just list your skills. Think of the stories that prove them. What was the challenge? What action did you take? What was the result? That's your secret weapon. The third psychological principle is perhaps the most powerful. Social proof. We are social creatures. We look to others to determine what is right, what is popular, and what is valuable. When we see a restaurant with a long line, we assume the food must be good. When a product has thousands of five-star reviews, we trust it more. The same applies to you. Selling yourself isn't a solo act. You need to leverage the good opinions of others. This is where testimonials, references, and endorsements come in. On LinkedIn, recommendations from former bosses or colleagues are pure gold. They are objective validation of your skills and character. When I was starting my own freelance business, I felt awkward asking for testimonials. I thought my work should speak for itself, but I quickly learned that was a huge mistake. I decided to run an experiment. I reached out to 5 of my happiest past clients and just asked, "Would you be willing to write a sentence or two about your experience working with me?" All 5 said yes. I put those quotes on my website. Almost immediately, the tone of my conversations with new potential clients changed. They were less skeptical, more trusting. They weren't just taking my word for it, they were hearing it from people just like them. You can apply this everywhere. In an interview, you can say, "My previous manager often praised my ability to de-escalate client issues." You're not bragging. You're quoting someone else. You're providing social proof. If you're a creative, build a portfolio that showcases your best work. That work is a testament to your ability. If you've won an award or been recognized for something, mention it. It's not arrogance. It's evidence. It's the proof that lets other people sell you for you. Let's tie this all together. The psychology of selling yourself is a 3-part harmony. First, you create a halo effect. With a strong, positive first impression, you dress the part, you communicate clearly, and you present yourself professionally. This opens the door and makes people want to listen. Second, you captivate them with the power of storytelling. You don't just list your accomplishments. You weave them into compelling narratives that showcase your character and skills in action. This creates an emotional connection and makes you memorable. And third, you seal the deal with social proof. You use testimonials, endorsements, and examples of past success to validate your claims. This builds trust and removes doubt, making it an easy and obvious choice for them to invest in you. Selling yourself isn't about being a loud, slick salesperson. It's about being a great translator. It's about understanding the psychology of how people perceive value and then using that knowledge to authentically and effectively communicate the incredible value you already have. You are not a secret. You just need to learn how to tell your story in a way the world can't help but listen to. Start small. Pick one of these principles. Maybe this week you focus on your halo. Update that LinkedIn profile or practice your elevator pitch. Next week, craft one powerful story about a time you overcame a challenge. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. This isn't just about jobs or promotions. This is about showing up in the world with the confidence that comes from knowing how to express your true worth. And that's a wrap. If this video helped you see yourself in a new light, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And for more content on communication, confidence, and personal growth, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What's one story you can tell to sell yourself? Share it with us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.